What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. For today's video, we're going to be doing week 4 of the NFL game predictions. Last week I went 11-5, putting my current record at 36-12. And starting off this video, we have an NFC West showdown between the Seahawks and Cardinals. Both these teams are sitting at 2-1. The Seahawks crushed the Saints last week, and the Cardinals lost the game by a point to their arch rival, San Francisco 49ers. And I have the Seahawks winning this game. I've looked better, in my opinion, than the Cardinals have. Not that I think the Cardinals are bad, but I'm going to go with the team that I think's looked better, and that's the Seahawks. I have them winning 20-16. Alright, next up we have a Sunday morning game. It's going to be the first ever game played in Ireland between the Vikings and Steelers. Vikings crushed the Bengals last week, and the Steelers were able to escape against the Patriots. And I'm going to go with the Vikings in this one. I think they've looked better than the Steelers have, and I trust Kevin O'Connell more than I trust Mike Tomlin at this stage of Mike Tomlin's career. So I'm going to say that the Vikings win this one 17-13. Alright, next up we have the Commanders taking on the Falcons. The Commanders were able to crush the Raiders last week despite not having Jaden Daniels. And the Falcons got crushed by the Panthers last week. And Michael Penix looked terrible. There's no other way to put it. And the Commanders, I will say, are pretty banged up right now. Jaden Daniels is coming off of his injury. Terry McLaurin's actually going to be out for this game as I'm making this video. But I'm still going to go with the Commanders. I still think that despite being banged up, they've looked better. And I think they're going to beat the Falcons 23-17. Alright, next up we have the Saints taking on the Bills. The Saints got crushed by the Seahawks last week, as I just mentioned. And the Buffalo Bills were on Thursday Night Football last week, and they were able to take care of the Dolphins a little closer than they would have liked, but a win's a win. And, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I think the Bills are going to crush the Saints. I mean, this could be a trap game. You never know. I mean, hell, the Browns beat the Packers last week, but I don't see it happening. I think the Bills are too good, so I have them winning this one 31-14. Alright, next up we have the Browns taking on the Lions. The Browns shockingly beat the Packers last week in a defensive slugfest, and the Lions were able to take care of the Ravens on Monday Night Football. And honestly, I would not be incredibly shocked or anything if the Browns won this game. I'm not going to pick them because I think the Lions are better. But I will say the Browns defense is legit. They have a genuine, really good defense. Now their offense sucks, so I don't really know what they're going to be doing in the win column, but I think they're going to give the Lions a bit of a fight here. I still think the Lions are going to win, but I'm going to say they win this one with a score of 20-10. Alright, next up we have an AFC South matchup between the Titans and the Texans. The Titans lost to the Colts last week by a lot of points, and the Texans lost to the Jags last week because of their bad offense. And it's a battle between 2-0-3 teams. There's a lot of concerns with the Texans right now because I thought they'd be better. But I still think they're going to win this game. I mean, they don't have to play great against the Titans to beat them. The Titans, outside of Cam Ward and Jeffrey Simmons, don't really have anything. So I'm going to say the Texans win this one 27-17. Alright, next up we have the Panthers traveling to New England to take on the Patriots. The Panthers shockingly beat the Falcons 30-0. And the Patriots couldn't beat the Steelers because of the 5 turnovers they had. And honestly, this game could be pretty good. I mean, you've got 2 young quarterbacks, one that's starting to really prove himself and one that's having a little bit of trouble proving himself. And I'm going to go with the team that's at home and with the, honestly, in my opinion, the more proven quarterback. Because Bryce Young, we still don't really know whether or not he's going to be good. But New England Patriots, they think they got their guy. I think Drake May's going to be the guy for several years. And I'm going to say the Patriots win this game 28-21. All right, next up we have the Chargers taking on the Giants. The Chargers were able to beat the Broncos 23-20 last week, and the Giants on Sunday Night Football laid an egg against the Chiefs. They couldn't do anything on offense, and they actually benched Russell Wilson in favor of Jackson Dart. So we'll see how that goes, but regardless of who's starting for the Giants, I still think the Chargers are going to win. And I will say, Jackson Dart, we'll see what he does, but I really don't think he's going to do enough to beat the Chargers. I have the Chargers winning this game 34-20. And next up, we have a very interesting matchup between the Eagles and the Bucs. The Eagles were able to come back in the second half to beat the Rams, and the Bucs were able to hang on to their second half lead against the New York Jets. And honestly, I'm really looking forward to this. I am going to go with the Eagles just because the Bucs are banged up right now, and I think not having Mike Evans is really going to hurt the Bucs, especially in a game like this. So because of that, I'm going to say the Eagles win a close one, 25-23. All right, and entering the 4 o'clock slate, we have the Colts taking on the Rams. The Colts were able to crush their division rival Titans last week, and the Rams were unable to close out a victory against the Eagles that they really should have won. And honestly, this game's a lot more intriguing than you would have thought it would be at the start of the season, but here we are. And I could see this going either way too. I mean, a lot of these games are a little one-sided, but as we get more and more into it, there are some games that are going to be really good, and this is one of them. And I'm going to go with the Rams just because they're at home. And I think after losing the way they did last week, I think they're going to make absolute sure that they win the next game. And, because of those reasons, I have the Rams winning this game 24-20. All right, next up, we have the Jags taking on the 49ers in a revenge game, actually. The Jags won a defensive slugfest against their division rival, and the 49ers also won a slugfest between their division rival. And the revenge here is for Mac Jones, who is starting for the 49ers at quarterback since Brock Purdy is injured. And this could be a game, but I really don't think it's going to be. I think the 49ers are a lot better of a team. They're at home, and I really don't trust the Jags offense right now. So because of that, I'm going to say the 49ers win this one 26-10. All right, and next up, we have arguably one of the best games of the week. We have the Ravens taking on the Chiefs. The Ravens couldn't beat the Lions on Monday Night Football last week, and the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football were able to take care of the New York Giants. And this game, I'm not going to lie, it could go either way. But I'm going to go with the Ravens here just because they've been playing better than the Chiefs have. I really still don't think the Chiefs are all that. I still think they're going to make the playoffs and everything, but they need to prove to me that they can still hang with the big dogs. And the Ravens, despite them not being great in the clutch, are a big dog. And I think the Ravens are going to win this game 24-17. All right, and next up, we have the Bears taking on the Raiders. The Bears were able to crush the Cowboys last week, and the Raiders got crushed by the Commanders with a backup quarterback. So I really don't like where the Raiders are heading. And I'm actually kind of surprised to say this, but I actually do like where the Bears are headed. I think that all those years of being off-season champs, perhaps they can finally break the stigma and actually have a good season because they looked really good last week. And I'm going to say that the Bears win this game just because of momentum and things like that. I just don't trust the Raiders. I don't think Geno Smith is that great of a quarterback. So because of that, I'm going to say the Bears win this game 20-17. All right, and heading to Sunday Night Football, we have the Packers taking on the Cowboys. The Packers shockingly lost to the Browns last week in a defensive slugfest, and the Cowboys couldn't slow down the Bears, and their offense struggled as well. And, this game's not particularly important or anything. There's no so there's not a certain Micah Parsons trade or a certain, long time rivalry between these two teams. It's just kind of a whatever game. But all jokes aside, I really don't think the Packers are going to lose this game after losing the way they did last week. Also, the Cowboys are going to be without CeeDee Lamb for this game. And because of that, I think the Cowboys are really going to struggle on offense against this defense. And I'm going to say that the Packers win this game with a score of 31-21. And we got our first Monday Night Football game of the two between the Jets and the Dolphins. The Jets lost a game between the Bucs and the Dolphins. They actually did play close against the Bills, despite what the final score might indicate. So both teams losing, but not looking terrible in the process. And this game could honestly go either way for me, but I mean, I have to go with the Jets here, honestly. I think they were a lot closer to winning than the Dolphins were, and they looked really good in the second half of that Bucs and Jets game. And also, I'm not going to lie, I just don't trust Tua to win any game right now. I just think he is literally the most unclutch quarterback you could have in any situation. So I'm going to say the Jets get their first victory and win 18-17. And ending the week, we have the Bengals traveling to Denver to take on the Broncos. The Bengals got crushed by the Vikings last week and looked horrible. And the Broncos got their hearts crushed for the second week in a row, losing by a field goal to their division rival Los Angeles Chargers. And the Broncos need to win this game. If they don't win this game, I'm going to be so pissed off as a Broncos fan. The Bengals have a backup quarterback who just got crushed by Carson Wentz and the Vikings. So, Broncos, I'm not asking you to win, I'm telling you. Get your shit together, stop playing dumb, and win this game. Get back on track. I think they will. I think they'll win this game 29-17. And that's going to do it for the video. Here are all of my score predictions if you want to take a look at them again one more time. And that's what I got. We'll enjoy a week of football, and then I'll come back on Tuesday for my reactions and my takeaways. We'll see how right or wrong I was about all these predictions. And until that video, I will see you all later. Peace out.